Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Easy work. That was easy work, man. Wow, I watched this fight 2 times. I had to watch it one more time, man. I was like, damn, did I just see Nicholas Walters get completely dominated? Like I had to watch it one more time. Yikes, man. Lomachenko put on a clinic. He put on a clinic tonight, man. The first few rounds. Well, let's go to round one. When round one started, like the first few seconds of the round, Walters comes out, establishes his jab, and he's coming forward. I'm like, okay, yeah, this right here. It's gonna be a good one right here, man. It's gonna be some back and forth. He couldn't find a home for the left hand. Lomachenko was getting out of the way of it. He was doing an excellent job of doing the step around his lead foot because he's a southpaw. His right foot was always on the outside of Walter's left foot, so he was able to step around on the side. First, he was just stepping around, stepping around. Then he started landing punches when he was stepping around. The left hand, the straight left, or he started to land the right hand. And then he was pretty much using his jab as a power shot too. So, man, it was just a damn annihilation. So he was doing that, and he was giving Walters opportunities. Just that Lomachenko moves his head. He does a great job of covering distance with those long strides, but he stays low and he stays ready to punch, and he stays defensively alert as well. So he's not easy to hit, and on top of that, he's ready to hit you at any moment. Then he started to land like double straight left hands. He was throwing awkward combinations, double straight left hands, hook to the body, or double jabs, and then a straight left hand, and then another straight left hand. It was just all types of combinations he was landing on Walters. When he was pushing him back, Walters was not effective at all. He kept, he'll have the high guard up, and then as soon as Lomachenko started to put pressure on him, push him back a little bit, he would kind of go to the Philly shell position where he'll drop his hands, put the left shoulder out there, and the his right glove up to his chin, trying to go in that position. Boom, getting hit over the top of that low left hand with straight lefts or the jab by Lomachenko. All right, we have to give Lomachenko credit for his chin, because the few right hands that Walters did land, they pretty much just bounced off Lomachenko. He took them and he kept putting the pressure on. And once I seen that Lomachenko was putting the pressure on and also being able to counter Walters effectively, doing both, I knew Walters was no man's land after that. I knew he was going to be in no man's land because now he's getting countered and he's taking lead punches from Lomachenko. And when he starts to walk Lomachenko's down, Lomachenko is escaping off the side. And he was doing it when Walters was coming forward. And he was also doing it coming forward. Like, that's how good his footwork is. Um, wow, man, it's just complete annihilation. He was landing double hooks. He made Walters. Yeah, then there was a, and I'm going to be skipping around in this fight, man, because it was just so dominant. Especially after round one, because round one was kind of a fill out a little bit. Walters, his jab was out there, but he couldn't get nothing going behind it. But there was towards the end of round five was so telling to me. Uh, it was like the last few seconds of the round, and Lomachenko started to walk Walters down with his hands down, as if like this is so easy, and he was just giving him a different look. Max Kellerman was like, he was amazed because he just couldn't believe Walters was or that Lomachenko was dropping his hands. But I agree with that part, but I also was looking at it like, man, he's dropping his hands and he's giving Walters a different look. Because first he would work out the high guard, throw his combinations, work, throw the double jab in the left, the straight left. He was working out of that. And then once he dropped his hands, that to me further confused Walters because now that's a new look. So now he has to worry about punches coming from awkward angles. The hand speed and combination punching was giving him crazy trouble. Um, but yeah, so towards the end, after Lomachenko hit him with a good shot and walked him down, Lomachenko stood there. Lomachenko stood there and dropped his hands. I mean, it looked like the mannequin challenge. Just stood there as if like he dared Walters to try to hit him. And Walters looked at him and then he stopped fighting as well. Like he dropped his hands and looked at, tried to look at Tony Weeks. And I'm sitting there like he just mentally destroyed Walters right there. Once out, and Walters is an aggressive guy, man. He fought a good inside fight with Sosa. He got Donaire out of there viciously. Walters is a good fighter. Don't get it twisted. Lomachenko is the goods, man. He is the goods, man. I mean, if you had a prospect come into the game, it's kind of off a little bit, and his first 8 fights, you had him fight guys that are the on the caliber of Salido, Russell, and Walters in any division. Those type of guys in any division. Some people look at you like, man, are you trying to destroy your prospect? I know he, the gold medals and amateur experience, but I'm just saying, usually for a prospect, he's not fighting those levels of guys, and it takes special fighters to do that. It takes special fighters, man, to have under 12 fights, or special fighters to do stuff like this. So man, and then Walters, really not much to say. The first round, like I said, he came out with the nice jab. He was trying to throw too many single shots, man. Throwing way too many single shots. Lomachenko, he kept going off to Walter's left, on Walter's left side, to where he couldn't find a home for the right hand. And when he was in range to throw it, he had to play defense. He had to keep, Lomachenko was keeping him honest with the hand speed. And just his punches coming from different angles, it seemed as if Walter didn't know when to throw his own punches. But yeah, the single shots was hurting him. He should have tried to just at least let his hands go. Right? But so I thought round 6, I believe it was round 6, one of his better rounds. For Walters, he came out a little bit more aggressive. He started to land, in round 6, it was a battle of who had the aggressive footwork. As far as the aggressive lead foot. I'm sorry, not footwork, but aggressive lead foot. Because in that round, it seemed as if when Walters had his left foot on the outside of Lomachenko's right foot, he was able to land that left hook to the body. He landed it a few times. I thought, and hey, I'm just a guy on YouTube, but I thought that maybe he should have tried the left hook to the body, then the left hook upstairs, the double left hook combination. Lomachenko is too crafty for you to go out there and throw the normal combinations, the jab, right hand hook, in a robotic manner. You got to mix it up a little bit. Try to jab to the body. Give him different looks, man. He's too crafty for that. And he's too quick, and, he's in position to punch at all times. So you have to mix it up with him, man. Yeah, the right hand wasn't existent at all. He was standing around doing a lot of watching. Man, this was just a dominant performance by Lomachenko. I heard HBO mentioning the prospect of a Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford. I think those would be some good fights. I'm not going to break those fights down right now. I think those guys may be a little bit too powerful for him in a fight, but hey, man, the kid has great defense. He's been around the block a million times. I know he only has 8 fights, but he's fought a plethora of amateur fights, gold medals. I mean, this dude's the real deal. This dude's the real deal, man. I love to see a Crawford fight. Who do you guys think will win that fight between Crawford and Lomachenko? You think Crawford got too much power for him right now? Do you think Lomachenko will be able to make Crawford miss and make him pay and take Crawford's best weapons away from him? But Crawford has more weapons in his arsenal, in my opinion, than Walters does. And I don't see him quitting the way Walters quit in this fight. And I haven't even got to that part yet, but just to end the video, yeah, so then the round ends, round 7 ends. Now, for what I've seen, when HBO put the camera on his corner to see what was going on, why, what happened, who stopped the fight, Tony Weeks walked up to him. As he's walking up to him, Walters is saying, like, no mas, no mas, he doesn't want to fight. His trainer, I couldn't really tell what he was doing. It looked like he was holding Walters back a little bit. I'm not sure, but Weeks was walking towards Walters. Walters saying no mas. Then he starts to walk away. Weeks starts to go after to walk towards him. He turns around and said, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Keeps walking away. Weeks grabs him. You don't want to continue. And he's like, no, I don't want it. Like he's like walking away from Weeks, man. It was just weird. Like it was almost as if he was saying, like, hey, I want nothing to do with Lomachenko anymore. Please get me out of here. He's like, and as soon as after he said he don't want no more, he's like racing over, not running, but just he started walking over to Lomachenko to say, hey, good fight. You know, it was just like I couldn't believe he was so willing to quit. He wasn't mentally he was getting beaten up, and he got hurt in round 6 too. Let me add that. It looked like he got hit with a left hand, and he kind of was off balance at the same time, and his back was actually almost towards Lomachenko when he was off balance, and he was hurt a little bit. He got hurt with some good uppercuts too. Um, and it was like once he was making defensive moves, it's almost like he thought he was out the way, but Lomachenko, when you're moving, he's moving too. He's not going to watch you move. Or in this fight with Walters, he wasn't just watching Walters move. Whenever Walters made a defensive adjustment by rolling with punches and using his footwork and stepping around, Lomachenko stepped back around him. You know what I mean? So little tiny adjustments, man. But he was racing over to Lomachenko to tell him good fight. And he wanted to quit, but yeah, I couldn't believe that he wanted to quit, man. Being that he didn't seem, like I said, mentally he looked defeated and he was getting buzzed and hurt, but he wasn't like knocked down 5 times or broken nose or busted eye, nothing. Just like he just mentally wanted to get the hell out the ring. Like he wanted to get the hell up out of there. He wanted nothing more to do with Lomachenko. I'm trying to think, man, in more recent times, like the last few years or so, which fight? I know Luis Ortiz, not Luis Ortiz, I'm sorry, but Victor Ortiz has quit in some fights, but I'm trying to think a guy that was fresh and strong and still looked physically strong in there to just quit like this. I'm trying to think. I can't remember right now. I know Roy Jones brought up the Ray Leonard Duran. I'm just trying to think more recent. Oliver McCall Lennox. Oh, that was different the way that ended, but McCall wasn't like physically hurt in the fight. Some people, I don't want to get into that, but with the McCall thing, that's a whole nother video. But I'm trying to think a guy being fresh. You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. It's just guy being fresh and physically seem like he's there. You know what I mean? I don't know, man, but Lomachenko did what he had to do. You know what I mean? So those fights with Pacquiao or a fight with Crawford, I love to see that fight. HBO talking about it, I'm like, hell yeah, I want to see that fight. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I really follow the 130 division, but I am aware of Lomachenko. I'm more of a heavyweight guy. You know what I mean? I can talk more about heavyweight prospects than I can the top 10 of the 130 division. You know what I mean? I can talk the top 30 prospects in the heavyweight division more extensively than I can the top 10 of the 130. You know what I mean? But it doesn't take me to have to watch Lomachenko or watch the 130-pound division to know that this dude's the goods. You know what I mean? But you guys let me know what you think about a Pacquiao fight, what you think about a Crawford fight, what did you think about Walters quitting, and what you think about Lomachenko just dominating the hell out of Nicholas Walters, made him look average. And Walters is a good fighter, man. He made him look very average. He made Russell look average. Russell was an excellent amateur. You know what I mean? He's a very good professional, and he has very fast hands. Um, he just made him look average, and he made Walters look average. Salido, he didn't win that fight. One judge gave it to him on scorecards. Salido should have been deducted some points in that fight, but still, though, man, usually you don't put your prospect in there with these type of fighters in his first 8 fights. But I understand he has the amateur experience to go along with it. But wow, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.